Father's Day weekend was enjoyable for me. I had my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, for 5 days, and we had ourselves a weekend. Went to a farm that was very depressing. I was like, oh, did something bad happen here? Was there a murder or something? Like, this seems like a crime scene. But it was, she still enjoyed it to so much, and that's rare. That's gonna be rare in the future years. So I really need to cherish that now. Seeing her react so, like, being so excited about ducks and turkeys and goats, and just like going back and forth and back and forth, and like, can we see the turkeys again? We see the ducks again. It's like, yeah, of course, this is for you. Like, she did, like, it. We it took us so long to get there. And within 5 minutes, she was running on the and tripped on the asphalt and scraped her knee and was like, I want to go home. I'm like, but we like just got here. Can you tough it out? Can you rub some dirt on it for pops? And so I just went very slowly. Like, okay, I'm gonna slowly pick you up and let's just sit down over here for a second. She's like, no, I want to go home. I'm like, yeah, but like, let's just catch our breath and like, let's simmer down and relax, you know? 'Cause I'm like, I can't, like, we just got, and it was free. I don't know if it was supposed to be free. They said, here's the ticket booth. It's 12 for adults, 8 for kids. And there was no one at the ticket booth. So I was just like, this is bad. I'm just going to walk in. But it was like, the playground area, even though we didn't hang out there for long, was kind of a paradise for sports guys like me. Cause it was like they had a like, normally you just have the basketball pop a shot type thing where it's like you're just trying to shoot into the hoop. This had the basketball pop a shot, but also had like the football with the tires. So you can just throw footballs through the tires. And then it also had a baseball, quote unquote, wiffle ball station where you can throw it into buckets. And I was just like, I could stay here all friggin' day and do this. And then and then she trips and falls and is bleeding everywhere. But it was still fun. And then Sunday, she had her sports practice, which it's not one sport. They go through all the sports. They went through soccer, t-ball, lacrosse, which kind of cool. Like, it would be cool if she didn't really take to it. I don't think a lot of kids took to it, except there was one kid who was just like, okay, I can see you being a lax bro for the rest of your life. Just whacking everyone with his stick. And then this past week was like track and field. And I think that was the one that she liked the most. I don't know. I like us Lynches, not really track and field folk. We don't run fast. We don't run at all. So interesting. And then went to a brunch, a nice Father's Day brunch, where there was it was an hour wait to get like a booth or a table. And they were like, well, the hostess was like, you can sit at the counter. There's no wait for the counter. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to do the counter. It's fine. So we saddle up at the bar. We were right by where the servers, the waiters and waitresses were, making the drinks and pouring drinks. And we got to hear all the hot goss coming from the servers about, this table sucks. Did they just dine and dash? Look at the tip this one left me. They put a note on it. Like, we just heard all the dirt, all the behind the scenes, peek behind the curtain, so that was cool. And although, like, the kids menu, out of the pancakes, they gave her 6 pancakes. 6. What kid is eating 6 pancakes? Outrageous, but I think she enjoyed it, and she got all the syrup. She deserves it. And then last minute audible. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, and I was like, let's just do it. So we decided to do the safari at Six Flags. So I ended up, buying the tickets, and I was just like, and by the way, I guess little girls especially, but little kids in general have to pee all the time. There is not a time when they don't have to pee. And it's always at the worst possible time. Because I'm like, and I've gotten into the habit of asking, like, when I know there's a restroom nearby and I can see a restroom, or I always ask, do you have to go potty? Do you have to go potty? And she's in this weird phase. And I don't know if this is like signs that she has a UTI, but the amount of false alarms that my daughter goes through for these for going potty is outrageous. And she always says, she'll say like, I have to go potty. And I'm like, all right. And then she'll go walk over and then she'll come back. She'll be like, I have to go. I tricked you. And I was like, this is a weird trick. And then sure enough, 5 minutes later, she's like, we'll be on the road, not near a restroom. And she'll be like, I have to go potty. And I was like, so are you tricking me again? Or is this for real life? And she'll be like, no, this is for real life. Like, I gotta go now. And I'd be like, great. Cause we're now in a forest. We're now on a road going through a residential neighborhood with like no signs of anywhere that we could go potty. Cool. Can you hold it? And so then we get to the safari. So she holds it. It's a half an hour drive. I find a restroom. Oh, Mercer County Park, on the other side of Mercer County Park. We drive by and I like pull in and we go to the restroom and she goes potty. I'm like, great. So we get another 25, half an hour to the park. There's a restroom right when you enter the safari. And I was like, all right, let it be known, because the car in front of us, they had no idea what they're doing. So it was a long wait. So I was like, there's a restroom right there. Do you have to go potty? Be honest. Like, no tricking me. For real life, do you have to go potty? It's right there. There are no potties on the safari. We're going to drive our car. By the way, trying to explain the safari. She's been on the safari before, but she was 3? No, 2? Yeah, she was like 2. We went in 2020, 2021. I don't know. But she's been on the safari before, but she was in a diaper. So it was like, hey, piss and shit your brains out. You got a diaper on and we can change it. And plus it was me, plus her Aunt Lindsay, or her aunt and her mother. We were all together as one big happy family. Now it's just me and her. I got to drive. I can't, I can only do so much. So I'm like, there's the restroom. There are no potties on this safari. And she's like, no potties? Where do people go potty? She's like, well, there's a restroom at the beginning, at the end. So you got to go at the beginning or at the end. And she was like, so we can't walk through. And I'm like, nope, we're driving through. We're slowly driving through. And she's like, all right, well, we can put the windows down, right? And I was like, no, that's not allowed. You cannot put the windows down. She's like, oh, okay. Well, can we? And she just asked like 1,000 questions. And every answer was like, no, that's not allowed. Can we feed the animals? Can we pet the animals? No. So she's like, I'm like, there's a restroom. You can't go. Like, I have the Minnie Mouse porta potty in the back seat. I put it right next to your car seat. If you have to go, you just pull up the lid and you just go right there, and we'll have to deal with it. Which, looking back, if she had to take a shit in that Minnie Mouse porta potty, oh my God, because we can't technically open the windows. I'd have to crack windows for that. You'd have to. Like, you'd have to. You can't. That's one thing. I would probably get kicked out for that. I'd be fine with getting kicked out for that. If it was like she had to take a shit and she pooped in the Minnie Mouse porta potty. But she said no, she didn't have to go. So I was like, all right. And then sure enough, it was like the first station that we're in beyond the main gate where you can't turn around. She's like, yeah, I got to go potty. I got to go potty right now. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude. And so it was, I can only imagine the mental warfare that was going on inside her little brain about like, well, I have to go, but I don't want to go in this Minnie Mouse porta potty because there are people like staring at me in the car behind us. And I could see it in the rearview mirror. It's like because everyone's going 5 miles per hour. So they're all like bumper to bumper essentially. So you can basically see into the cars in front of you if they don't have the tinted windows. And we do not, for sure not, have tinted windows. So it's like, she's like, do I really want to put on a show right now? Like, I'm not really cool with it. Like, she's starting to get that age where, I don't know that I want people seeing my china and my tush. So I could see her. She would open the lid and she would start to kind of drop trow, and then she would pick them up and she'd be like, no, I just tricked you. And I was just like, okay. Feels like something's brewing in that head of yours, that noodle, that nog. Feels like something's brewing. And like, you're going back and forth, and it's like, I told her she could get out of her car seat and she could walk around. She liked, so she came up in the front seat. She would go in the back seat, front seat, back seat, front seat, back seat. But, and I would try to point out animals and I could tell when she's got like potty brain because she had no interest. I'm like, look, there's lions, king of the freaking jungle right there. Look at the size of his mane. She'd be like, Daddy, if you were, just like, look, there's a tiger. It's a white tiger. We have never seen a white tiger in person that you remember. She's like, oh yeah, so big with stripes. Just like she could not focus. And then she was like, where are the snakes? I'm like, snakes? You saw a friggin' giraffe, an elephant. You're gonna sit here and talk about snakes? Okay. But I think overall she enjoyed it. It was probably an hour and a half. It can be 3 hours if you're like one of those people that literally stops at every station and just stays there. But I think she had a good time there. And then it was off to the playground here. And then, eventually I hit a wall and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I've been dadding pretty hard all day and I need just sofa time. Let's just couch it up and watch a movie. And we did. We ended up watching Storks, which is, I think maybe some people don't, I think most people don't like it for some reason, but I think it's a great movie. I love that movie. Mostly because it's Andy Samberg. Is it Jennifer Aniston? I don't know. But so many good one-liners and jokes in that movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, and so it was Father's Day weekend. We opened my gifts at the end there. Got some pretty cool gifts. A book of dad jokes. Can't go wrong with that. A dome dock. Something that you just like screw into your wall and you can literally put all your hats. I have like 1,000 hats. So it's like you just put all your hats in there. A brew mate. Kind of just like a fancy schmancy koozie. Keep your drinks cold. Although I don't know when I would use it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I feel weird traveling with it. Like, would you like a? No. I have my own. So sorry. But some golf tees, some golf bags that look like vest for your wiener. There, I said it. Hate to get graphic, but it's exactly what it looks like. Just like a nice warm vest for your dong piece. So overall, like a pretty nice Father's Day weekend. And then Juneteenth today, I got to spend 4 hours at Pep Boys for regularly scheduled maintenance for my car. Apparently needed 4 new tires and windshield wipers. And like they were basically saying like, hey, you're lucky to be alive. You should be dead on the side of a road, embedded in a phone pole or a tree. With the way that this car is, what are you doing? So 4 hours there of my off day because I had off from work. So it's like 4 hours of just like I've scrolled to the end of the internet and back. And I have to listen to Pat Robertson and the Miracle Network on the TV. Why are you guys watching this? Are you into this? And then followed by Jerry Springer and then the bouncer Steve, security guard Steve, his show, which is nuts. And then Judge Maybelline, Small Claims Court is just, it's super fun. But I was just like, there's so much arguing and yelling and it's just nonstop. Make it stop. So yeah, that was the Father's Day Juneteenth weekend.